YouTube, and now we're live on
Yep City.
This is the Wrestling Guy Podcast. I am your co-host, Hector El Chido Canales, with
Lord Alfred Shakes.
And our host with the most,
Of course, David the Wrestling Guy.
and today's a very special day. Not only did we have one of the founding fathers of the NWO, Big Sexy Kevin Nash,
That's right.
but also today is the 6th anniversary of the Wrestling Guy Store.
Yes, finally, right? Thank you. It's crazy. We've done this for 6 years.
Yeah.
Damn, it's amazing. You know,
Well, you've been doing it for 6+ years.
6+ years. It's already been 15 years total. We've been doing this.
15 hard
15
years. Wow.
hard years, yes.
That's a kid. That's a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
Damn,
Wow.
this baby's 15 years old.
That is
It's
sweet.
growing
I
up.
should have thrown it a quinceañera. Tiempo.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know where I went to go celebrate?
Where'd you go so?
Home Depot.
Yes.
Did you happen to buy any wood?
No, but somebody wanted me to buy some wood.
Now, this is a story that before we went on live, we were discussing, and I was hoping that Shakes would bring it up because I thought that David wouldn't bring it up. David, what were you doing at Home Depot?
I was at Home Depot because I have some dirty neighbors at home that don't clean their yard, and so we are getting a lot of mice in the house. So I went to go buy some look for either a mouse trap or glue or poison. I was trying to find the most humane way though to
What,
get rid of this.
did you know if you go to Home Depot, a lot of people are looking for hardware?
Yeah, I found out the hard way. Well, not
Really hard,
that
right?
hard way, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so I went to Home Depot and I got solicited.
Special on wood.
I got solicited. I guess they thought I was a worker of the night. They offered to pay me to do certain things, and I was like, yeah, not gonna happen. I'm married and I have kids, and they're like, oh, I don't mind if you're married.
Is that why you messaged me last night around 2 a.m.?
I need to
see if I can. I'm not your Uber.
I needed an Uber. Somebody's saying there's no audio on the Facebook.
There's no audio.
There's no audio for some reason on the Facebook. I think if you click the little microphone thing, though, it should be audio. So we'll find out right now. If there's not, we'll fix it for you guys.
Let's see.
So, but yes, that's how my week started for the Home Depot. We can unplug the microphone. Maybe the microphone.
So you can easily say that your week started at a very high point.
A very, very high point. A very, very high point. Ah, that's why we had no audio. The microphone wasn't on.
There you go. Well,
How about now? Ask them if it's...
Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now on Facebook? For those listening,
can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? You know what? Let me fix it. I know how we'll fix it. Yeah,
So it's
you're
just-
good. We should have some audio now.
You just
There we go. Sorry, I forgot to turn on my.
You know, you got to really be
Weird-shaped
careful when
microphone.
you're going around pointing objects.
Just not gonna let that. So for those that missed it because there was no audio, I went to Home Depot. I got solicited, but they thought I was a worker of the night. I said no. Told them I was married, and they said they didn't care if I was married. They offered to pay me. Now my friend told me I should have asked them how much they were willing to pay me, so at least I could find out my value.
Yes.
Well, see, that's why you don't go to Home Depot dressed like a slut.
I was not dressed like. I was wearing a regular. T-shirt. I mean, a nice Indians jacket
And that's all?
with a nice, with some nice jeans.
And a thong underneath, right?
Oh,
They seen the thong. You pulled off the leader look, right?
I was trying, and a nice T-shirt underneath.
Okay.
I had my hair combed just like I do today.
So you go all nice dressed up to go to Home Depot
I had
all
to
the
come
time?
to work after. I thought he was going to try to sell me insurance. And I
think
he was
that's
trying to
gonna be
sell me
after-
something else. No
after-
insurance.
after he
Let me
was
tell
selling
you.
insurance.
Thank you, compa. We have audio now.
All right.
So we're good.
All right.
But yeah, so that's how my week started. But you know, before we start talking about the 6th anniversary of the store, you know, today we turned 6 years old. 15 if you were with us from the swap meet. 15 years. So yeah, we have pretty much a toddler, no, a young kid, that would be what, second grade? You have a second grader and a high schooler.
First grade
and a high schooler.
And a high schooler.
And a high schooler. Jesus. But, and no quinceañera, nobody invited. We should have thrown one. And I want to thank Brian Metz, of course. Metz, I already botched. Sorry, Brian. And he bought us a nice birthday cake.
Which was delicious, thank you.
Yes, I broke my diet for it. And you know what? It was well worth it. It was well worth it.
So we had a nice cake thanks to Brian. For those that don't know Brian, he's one of the main guys at Lucha Underground. He's always taken very good care of me and the store. And so I want to thank Brian. You know Brian.
Yep. Yes.
And yeah, he takes care of Hector too. Home Depot wanted to take care of me. And Alfred.
So is this podcast sponsored by Home Depot now, or what?
Sponsored by wood.
Where you can get wood?
A big piece of wood, according to the guy. And you know what the worst part is? He was in the gardening section. I think he was looking for the wrong hose.
Oh, could be.
Wait, so he's inside Home Depot?
Yeah, this was all inside Home Depot.
I thought this was like outside.
No, this was inside Home Depot. I was shopping for rat or mice stuff.
But you were in the gardening section, right? So
the girl, very cute girl that works there, goes, "Oh, it's outside in the garden."
Obviously, that didn't work for you.
He's trying to establish something. It was a very cute girl.
Yes. I honestly thought the guy was trying to sell me insurance or ask me to sell insurance for him. So
he was looking for someplace to plant his seed.
He really was. But anyway, so out of 6 years we've been here, we've had a lot of celebrities, but wrestlers and celebrities, but no one I think has been bigger than the legend we had today.
Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash. So thank you, Kevin Nash, for joining us today. It was a great turnout. It was busy the whole 2 hours.
It was very busy.
Yeah.
He stayed an extra half hour. Great guy. Told a lot of great stories. I like how he pointed out that Hulk Hogan would sign the championship belt.
And then an hour later, some guy shows up with the championship belt. And Hulk Hogan has signed the whole thing, basically. Well, it's not like he signed, like, oh, I'm going to sign here and here. No, it's just to sign his name. Yeah. It took him, like 6 inches just to sign an H.
Yeah.
Another 6 to sign an U.
Yep.
You got to be careful with the measurements with David.
And then he put NWO. And he actually, what was cool about the championship, the gentleman that brought it in, said that he actually took black spray paint and had Hogan spray paint it for him. Oh. So it was really cool. So then he had Hogan sign it, but the whole strap, the front of the strap was Hulk Hogan's signature.
Oh, wow.
And then he had Nash signed it. And Nash is just like, oh, he signs it nice. But it was funny because he kept saying like, oh, when Hogan signs, he uses up the whole. And sure enough,
the
whole strap was Hulk Hogan, NWO, Hollywood Hogan, NWO. So... But Kevin Nash was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
It was a great meet and greet for us. And I never a million years, not 6 years ago, especially, that I think I'd look up and see the ceiling and see Kevin Nash on the ceiling of fame.
And here's the one thing, like coming in and helping you out, I was thinking, oh, he's going to be a little rude because we've heard stories about certain guys that they're rude and whatnot. It was such a pleasure and such a surprise because you hear all these stories. Don't believe all the stories you hear. Man, Kevin Nash was a pleasure. He was a gentleman. Yes. He was funny. He was very charismatic. And he was thankful for being here.
Yeah. And he actually tweeted us a little while ago saying happy 6-year anniversary. So, I mean, not just for him to wish us a happy 6-year anniversary. It's amazing because a lot of guys, they not a lot of them, but they usually go home once they're done here, and we don't hear from them again, or they put up a picture and just say thank you, Wrestling Guy HP, and then we won't hear anything else. But this one was a nice, like a sincere tweet, like thank you, Wrestling Guy HP, for having me. It was fun, and happy 6-year anniversary. And just to get that from Kevin Nash was just awesome.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, it's just probably one of the most awesome things I've had. But let's talk about since we've been here 6 years, 15 if you're at the swap meet. Everybody always asks me how we started at the swap meet, so I'll go through this. We started off, I had a cell phone store years ago. many years ago. And this was there was only AT&T, Verizon, Singular Wireless, which later on became AT&T. And you had T-Mobile really was just coming up, and Nextel. And if everybody remembers the Nextel,
I hate that so much.
Yeah, and so we started that, and then it wasn't as easy to get approved for cell phones as it is now. So we were like, we need to sell something else. So we said, you know what? Let me order some wrestling shirts. So I ordered like a Stone Cold shirt. Cena had the Thugonomics gimmick, so I think we had like a Thugonomics shirt. And a couple of Rey Mysterio was just coming up, so we had a couple of those shirts. And I said, this lady that used to go to the Santa Fe Spring Swap Meet, I go, hey, can you go sell some of your shirts for me at the swap meet with you? Because she used to sell cell phone stuff for me too. She's like, sure. So she comes back the next week, and she's like, oh, I sold out of all your shirts. So I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. Mm-hmm. So then we kept selling the cell phones for a year, and I kept ordering the shirts. And then after about a year, we had like a dozen shirts left over. So I was like, let me go try this Santa Fe Spring swap meet. So I said, screw it, let me go out there. Went out there with my little Randy Orton shirts, and I only had kids shirts. I didn't like having adult shirts because I just always figured, what adult wants a half-naked man on his shirt? Shut up before you even answer that.
Home Depot.
So we went, and sure enough, all 12 shirts sold out like in 2 hours. So I sat there for like 3 more hours doing nothing, just listening to music in the car. And then, so I ordered more shirts, and then we started there, and then we added toys and stuff. So then when the opportunity came here to open the store here 6 years ago, this lady that her daughter used to go to school with, my oldest son, goes, hey, are you still looking for a retail store to open your store? And I'm like, yeah, sure. She's like, there's a space right here in HP. The rent's pretty good. You should go check it out. So I did. And it's funny because a lot of people don't believe in, a higher power. And I was like, man, and I go, I'm going to leave the swap meet. I've been there, 9 years. I already have my customer base. I go, I only have to work 3 days a week over there compared to 7 over here. I go, I said, well, God, if it's meant for me to open up the store, I go, the rent will be really low. So I go to meet the guy, and I tell him, he's like, oh, yeah, it's this much. I was like, and it was low. Mm-hmm. And I was like, way below what everybody expect. I guess what goes around here, So I was like, all right, man, he did. So I said, no, I'm not convinced. So I'm like, okay, God, if it's meant for me to get this store, the landlord's not going to charge me a deposit. He's just going to charge me the rent. So the next day, I call him, and I'm like, hey, real quick, just out of curiosity, before I go meet you and hand over the contract, I go, how much do I have to give you? And he's like, oh, just the first rent, just the first month's rent, nothing else. No deposit, no last month, just the rent. And I was like, okay. So I get my contract, sign it, then I'm going to go meet him, and I'm like, nah, I don't know if I want to turn it in. So I go, all right, God, if it's meant for me to sign this contract, I go and hand it in and get this store, I go, he's not going to keep me to a lease. Mm-hmm. He's just going to let me go in, and I can leave whatever I want. So I go, so how long is my lease for? He's like, oh, you're on a month-to-month, whenever you want to leave. So I'm like, all right. So I go back to the car, and my wife is sitting in the car, and I go, man, I keep asking God for all these signs, but I'm kind of scared. She's like, well, what have you asked him? I go, well, I asked him about the rent, I asked him this, I asked him that, and I go, oh, God, if it's meant, da. She's like, well, damn, you want God to come down here and hand in the paper for you? She goes, apparently it's meant to be. So sure enough, I handed it in, and yeah, here we are, 6 years later, and these walls were white, and I don't know, did you come in when the walls were white?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, this was what, I think I started coming in maybe 4 years ago.
4 years ago, so the walls were, still white. Yeah. You were here when the walls were white, because you met Chavo here.
Yes.
Yes, you were one of the first customers here.
I was one of a few customers here, yes.
You came shaking. You would have been shaking at Home Depot. Ricky Gonzalez on Facebook, who was actually one of, I think he helped me a few times out there, and his brother. Uh-huh. Remembers my little Nissan Sentra. We used to stack that stuff with like Jack's Pacific boxes. Like my wife would play Tetris in the car because I only had a Nissan Sentra like I do now, but we would carry like 30 boxes of stuff, and so she was trying to fill the whole trunk and the back of the seat, and I could never do it on my own. So she would always go and she'd play Tetris, and sure enough, leave it so I could see behind me, and she would have the whole trunk full, and we would do. That's how we started. We would drive out there Friday nights, just unloading the boxes and opening the boxes, and doing that. So that was pretty cool. You met